Greetings ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mangs and I welcome you guys to the introductory video to my brand new Fire Emblem 7 Patreon PME. After much contemplation I decided to go with Fire Emblem 7 since that's the only Game Boy Advance we haven't done a PME of yet. So yes, I am aware that I'm currently playing Fire Emblem 7 on my channel already with Mecha, but this isn't going to be a traditional Let's Play. Instead, I'm actually going to live stream it over at Twitch, just like Corin Quest, since the concept is very similar. I will of course upload the VODs to my YouTube channel though. In this video, I will give you guys all the information you need to participate in the Fire Emblem 7 Patreon PME and how you make your characters. This PME will be different from the other ones. This time my patrons will actually get to make their own characters from scratch and completely replace the roster of Fire Emblem 7. In total there are 44 playable characters, so there's plenty of room for everyone to self-insert, though some characters are certainly more sought after than others. All patrons, no matter what tier you are welcome to participate, but the higher tiers will receive priority on what characters to get. In the pinned comment section of this video, you will find an empty template which you can fill out and send to me. It's going to look like this. I am going to go over the steps, so please pay close attention. Now what you do is that you copy this out, fill it out, and send it to me as a message. You can do this in a number of different ways. The best is probably just to send it to me on Patreon, but you can also send it to my Gmail at mangsandcyril@gmail.com, link in the video description, or as a PM on Discord. Just remember to post your Patreon name when you send it to me so I know what tier you are. The first thing you need to do is state which character in the Fire Emblem 7 roster you want to replace. There are 5 picks here, and the reason behind this is that if the character you want to replace has already been picked, you will move down to your second choice, and if that character is picked, you'll move down to your third, etc. If the rare case happens that all 5 characters are already taken, I will send you a message back with a list of available characters that haven't been taken yet. So pretty much if you fill out the 5 characters you want to replace the most, you will be prioritized based on your tier. Silver tier patrons are much more likely to get their first pick. Then what you do is you fill in your character's name, class, portrait, gender, and description. These are all pretty self-explanatory, but keep in mind that you have to list your unpromoted class. If you happen to take the place of a pre-promote, you'll become a pre-promoted unit instead. So let's say your desired class is Cavalier, but you replace Isadora, for example, you will be a Paladin. Silver tier patrons will get the option of requesting a custom self-made portrait. You'll need to describe it or include a picture for reference. However, if you have your own portrait, or if someone made one for you, you can send it to me at mangsandcyril@gmail.com together with the rest of your sheet, and I'll give it over to Calvin to insert into the game. However, make sure that it's actually a working portrait. If not, you can just pick any portrait you like from any Game Boy Advance character. It's probably best that you select a portrait despite having your own in case yours is bugged, so we have a backup one. Then comes the funny part, growth rates. You get a total of 400 points to distribute between hit points, strength/magic, skill, speed, luck, resistance, and defense. Remember that the minimum growth rate is 0% and the maximum is 255%. You can't go above that. Then it is time to select your Boon and your Bane, similar to Awakening and Fates. However, in this PME, this choice will merely affect your base stats. I initially wanted to give people the opportunity to select their own bases, but it's way too much hassle considering there's so many characters who start out at the different levels at different points of the game, so it would be completely impossible to balance, so you just get the bases of the characters you replace. Yes, this means that some characters will be better than others, but tough luck. So you merely select a base stat as your Boon and one as your Bane, and yes, this can include Constitution if you wanted to, since it's a Game Boy Advance game. Here's a list of what the different stats pluses and minuses will be, depending on your choices. When you've selected your Boon and Bane, it's time to pick your starting equipments. You get 5,000 gold total to shop for, and you can have up to 3 items in your inventory. Any gold you do not spend is lost. Silver tier patrons gets the option to forge their very own personal weapon. I wish we could do this for everyone, but it's gonna be too much work for the people implementing the changes to have like 40 personal weapons to customize. Sadly, there's no way for us to force these weapons to only be available on your character, but at least you get to start out with them. We will also make sure that the weapon rank matches the weapon skill requirement of your character, so that it can be used right away. So how this works is quite simple. You just pick any basic weapon as your template, such as an iron sword, silver sword, steel sword, hand axe, javelin, whatever works, as long as it's a basic weapon that has no additional effects added onto it. So you can't pick a lance reaver, for example. Then when you've selected your template weapon, you can add a single effect to it, such as effective versus armor, reverses weapon triangle, targets resistance, Nosferatu lifesteal, eclipse eclipse effect, anything that's already available on another weapon in the game itself. So for example, if you want your personal weapon to be a killing edge that is effective versus mounted units, or maybe an Hellfire Tome with an Nosferatu effect, or hell, maybe a longbow with the eclipse effect, you can. And of course you get to name your very own weapon anything you like. The price of this weapon will be whatever the base weapon is worth plus 500. Now, the bosses of this PME will actually be represented by my Twitch subscribers. Yes, as long as you're a Twitch subscriber, you will be able to take the place of a boss in the PME. So we got a whole Twitch versus Patreon thingy going on here. I will personally discuss this closer with the Twitch subscribers in the Twitch quarters of my Discord, so you don't have to worry about that for now. When the characters start coming in, I will add them to a Google document that you can all view. Link to it will be with everything else in the video description. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. This will obviously take a bit of time to get ready, so I ask that you will all be patient. If you want to help out with this PME, I do require some assistance. My mod Calvin will be working with Nightmare to implement the changes, but I'm sure he could use some assistance. So a few people who knows how to work Nightmare would be very helpful. Alongside a few spriters, as well as a handful of beta testers, will help test the game beforehand and scour it of bugs. You can apply for these positions by contacting me, though keep in mind that if you work on the PMA, that doesn't mean you will be automatically able to participate as a player character. You still need to be a patron for that. However, according to tradition, the final bosses of the PME, aka the Dragon, will actually be replaced with the PME beta testing team, just like we did in Fire Emblem 8 at the bottom of the ruins. So I'm certainly looking forward to this, guys. I hope you guys are as well. As I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to see all your crazy wacko characters. This is going to be great.